Hello, welcome to Giving Tuesday. I'm Angela Harris, Vice President of Community Engagement, Programming and Communications with DCTV. Washington, D.C. is home to over 12,000 nonprofit organizations. This represents over a quarter of the district's workforce. D.C. nonprofits give nearly $500 million annually to the district for a variety of services, and that doesn't include the countless hours of volunteer work done in our community. DCTV is committed to meaningful media. That means we proudly give a voice to those who are the least heard, and we speak meaningful dialogue about the important things that impact our community. In 2019, DCTV launched a new grant program for the purpose of helping nonprofit organizations to increase their communications capacity. We developed the grant with the guidance of nonprofit leaders who told us that getting the word out about the work they are doing is amongst the biggest challenges that they face, especially in a hyper-digital world. So we are here today to tell these stories, to make sure that these meaningful messages are seen and heard. Giving Tuesday is an annual event that began in 2012 as a way to spark the holiday giving season. It's celebrated on the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving each year. We hope that today's 24-hour special programming event will inspire you and will give you cause to join these organizations in the great work they are doing every day. So sit back and you'll be introduced to some of DCTV's staff who will serve as the hosts for this one-of-a-kind special event. And happy holidays.
Hi, I'm Alvin Jones, production team leader here at DCTV. Two major concerns in the DC area are the number of people that make up the homeless population and the many people who go hungry on a regular basis. Now, statistics show that there are more than 6,500 homeless people in the district, and that number is continuing to increase. According to research, nearly 1 out of 10 residents suffer from hunger, with 1/3 of them being children. Fortunately, there are nonprofit organizations that are dedicated to serving the homeless community, as well as providing resources to help many people to put food on the table. We are about to introduce to you the 6 nonprofit organizations who are going above and beyond to provide important services to the homeless community and to those who can't afford to provide food for themselves or their families on a daily basis. The organizations are Emory Beacon of Light, Everyone Home DC, Housing Up, Community Food Works, So Others Might Eat, and Common Good City Farm. Let's take a look at how these nonprofit organizations are doing life-saving work for the most vulnerable in our community.
We sit in a pocket here where we have affluence a mile from us in one direction, but we've got working class in another direction, and then poverty and low income right around us. And so we minister to everybody, but we're serving people literally right here who are in need. The average median income in DC now is $120,000 a year. The average median income for a Latino family of 4 is $41,000 a year. And the average median income for an African-American family of 4 in the District of Columbia is now $38,000 a year. That really tells the story of why it's becoming tough for people of color to stay in the city. Because of the rising costs of living here, because of gentrification, are being displaced every day. How do we replicate this affordable housing model? How do we replicate other models that provide support to good education and to healthcare and the like, so that people who really make up the fabric of this city and have done so for a long time can stay? Affordable housing is the #1 issue in the city, and it's certainly the #1 issue here in Brightwood. People need an affordable place to lay their head. If you don't have a place to lay your head, nothing else starts. Education, healthcare, all of it is wrapped together. But here in this community, affordable housing. Brightwood is a tremendous place, and we're just happy to be a part of the fabric of this neighborhood.
They actually listen and are concerned about what you're going through and trying to help you find solutions.
The long-term goal is housing, so we also participate in the coordinated entry system that the city has to match the people who are most in need with the right kind of housing. Shirley's Place is a really special place. It's one of the very few drop-in day centers in the city, and we offer services here at Shirley's Place that most of us take for granted when we have homes. So, for example, clients come in here and they use the bathroom. They can cook a meal or heat up something to eat. And this year we had a record 1,400 showers taken here. Folks also do laundry. That's a really popular service. If you live outside, or even if you live in a shelter some of the time, you often don't have access to things like laundry. And for people's health and hygiene, they need to be washing their clothes and taking showers and so forth.
And they say, wow, it's really bright in here. I think they see that it's a house, but inside it's a home. We offer a very home feel. We want it like that. It's very warm, it's very inviting. It's not cold. The team, we're very friendly, and we treat them with respect. Mr. and Mrs. everybody. We know their first names because that's important to them to know their name.
It's almost like a home away from home because of the kind of hospitality and the kindness.
Everyone here has a heart of compassion. We want people to get housing. We want people to get their needs, meet their needs. We want people to do better.
This space is blessed.
When I have to go somewhere, it comes right here.
This space
I have to come here.
Housing Up is a almost 30-year-old organization, and we produce affordable housing and provide services to more than 700 households that we serve.
I moved to DC. I was up here with my mom, but we weren't doing well. So I moved into DC General with my daughter, and I stayed there for 1.5 years. It's very hard. We did have what we had and needed, but we also went through things.
For some of the families we work with, they may be experiencing either generational poverty, which is just the general condition, or maybe even generational homelessness. But our intent is to help people to be stably housed, and that means long-term housing for as much as we can make it happen.
This is my first real official apartment. I know I had one, but now this is mine. It's permanently mine. It's where my daughter can open up her door to her room. That's mainly what I was worried about. And a roof over her head, safety for her to grow up somewhere where she can call it hers. It's gonna be great.
It's awesome to see her just fly, do better than I did, to learn from my mistakes also. I am very, very grateful for her.
There's no more excuses, really. I'm ready to move on and do better for her because I can't stay down. It's the only way to go is up.
My life was in shambles, and I was trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces. AA not only keeps me sober, it helps me live a much better life. If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works for me.
Bringing new audiences and new approaches to American music of all genres, the American Pops Orchestra is comprised of the most accomplished musicians from the DC region and all along the East Coast. The mission of APO is to build community through the preservation, promotion, and reimagination of American popular music. Through live and virtual performances, educational initiatives, and collaborations, APO makes the highest quality art accessible to the broadest audiences. Our performances are described as inspiring, fun, engaging, inclusive, and innovative. Included in our mission is forging artistic partnerships with underserved youth and their families through arts education and providing a stage for the voices of tomorrow. To learn more about APO, visit theamericanpops.org. Join our family and join the fun.
The most important thing for people to know is that foster youth have experienced multiple forms of trauma which can lead to lifetime impacts. But CASA can help to put them on a path to a more productive and positive future. Court-appointed Special Advocate, CASA of Prince George's County, was founded to address the unmet needs of youth in foster care. We train and supervise volunteers from the community who advocate for the best interest of children. Every child deserves a qualified, caring adult to support them and help them thrive. To change a child's story, visit pgcasa.org.
We're a nonprofit organization focused on building strategies for an equitable and resilient community-based food system, and our work really starts at the farmers market. We are really trying to use the farmers market as a tool to increase local food access in the neighborhoods that we serve, to create links between the urban and rural food environments.
I think the benefit of the farmers market in that sense is at least twofold. I mean, it's like, one is the price and the quality of the produce that people are able to access and buy. And with that food being fresher, it is much more enjoyable to eat.
It's healthier to have fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables, and I have children, so all that, I raised them on that and I want to keep them that way.
The Pop-Up Food Hub is a program within our organization that aims to use our farmers markets as a means of aggregation. So I think that we're able to provide a level of transparency that goes both ways, from the customer to the farmer and from the farmer to the customer.
I've been coming for ever since they've been down here. I love fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff.
I think we get more fruits and vegetables for our bucks, and the products are good. I think it's better than the grocery store.
What surprised me most is really how strong of an emotional connection some of our older customers have to food and to cooking and to their memories with their family and all those sorts of relationship building things. And to be able to play a part in bringing that back into people's lives is really cool.
Welcome to Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today we have a young lady who's going to talk to us about making food prints. Her name is Hannah Schiff. She's with Fresh Farms, and she's with their organization. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Now tell us about food prints.
Sure. So Fresh Farm is an organization in the DMV area with multiple farmers markets across the city. And Food Prints is the educational wing of Fresh Farm. Years ago, the people who founded Fresh Farm thought it would be really cool to connect with DC Public Schools. And DC Public School students. And so they started Food Prints. In Food Prints, we integrate cooking, gardening, and nutrition education in partnership with DC Public Schools. And we integrate those three things into core academic areas. So we use hands-on lessons, hands-on learning that involves cooking, gardening, nutrition, education, eating together currently at 15 DC Public Schools. And our aim is really to excite students and families around eating local, fresh, produce and kind of bringing just math and science and social studies and literacy to life through these hands-on lessons. And in the end, our goal is to just really improve health outcomes in communities across the district.
What kind of impact does this have on the students who participate?
Kids who are in our program are much more likely to eat fruits and vegetables and also replicate the recipes that we cook in our classroom at home. And in DC right now, almost 50% of the population is either pre-diabetic or diagnosed with diabetes, which is a huge statistic. So when kids and families are getting excited about cooking at home together with nutritious recipes and nutritious foods, to us, that is the impact that is so important. The kids quickly turn into incredible chefs. They are doing, when I say everything, I mean it. They are doing everything themselves, from chopping to mixing, measuring, reading recipes, which is just amazing to see. And we fully staff the schools that we're at. So we have which makes our program unique, is we have a staff member at each of our schools.
They're getting their culinary skills and the ability to bring food to the table.
Yeah, I just got a note from a student the other day that she cooked her family like a complete meal with roasted salmon and vegetables, and they were so thrilled that she was able to do it all herself, and she's a rising 5th grader.
What are some of your big challenges, and what are some of your big rewards?
I think our biggest challenge is just continuing to grow and expand during these times in particular, but it just we continue to strive to generate the support of the city and city officials, so that each year we can continue to grow into more schools and more communities throughout the district. So we're just always advocating and then finding advocates that can work with us to kind of show the breadth and the impact of the program. And in terms of rewards, it's really just I was cooking with 4th graders today virtually, and they're getting this summer. 30 4th graders are getting deliveries of produce every week. They're getting fresh produce delivered to their doors, and then they're meeting with Food Prince teachers online and cooking together multiple times a week. And as we were cooking, I said to them, I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be talking to someone about Food Prince today. What should I say?" And without a beat, they said that it's the best thing in the world.
Hannah Schiff, thank you for coming on Impact Moment.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Actually, it's all of our pleasure. So for DCTV with Impact Moment, I'm Alvin Jones. Thank you for watching.
Tell us about your boyfriend.
Hey, well, when I first met Mark, it was love at first sight. From that moment, I knew I would do anything for him. For example, he worked with this guy that I don't really trust, so I started driving him to work and picking him up so I could be sure that he'd be okay. And now I keep an eye on his phone to see if he or anyone else weird is texting him or whatever. He can be naive sometimes, so just to be safe, I have him call me every hour so I know where he is and who he's with. He's my everything.
When people learn about UPO, I want them to walk away with knowing that there is an organization that is deeply committed to helping individuals and families in the community thrive in DC.
And the reason why we focus on opportunity and not just the service is because we aren't pulling people along. But what we're saying is, here's the door to opportunity, and we'll walk alongside you. We will help you because we recognize that our customers really do it for themselves.
Well, UPO has given me a second chance at life. It has shaped me, it has molded me, it has lifted me up.
We invite you to join in the anti-poverty fight with us, whether as a customer, a volunteer, a supporter, or a donor. We invite you to visit our website at www.upo.org.
We serve over 10,000 vulnerable people a year at SUM through any of our continuum of care programs: housing, healthcare, food security, addiction treatment programs, employment training programs, and others. Part of what we do is provide people with tools so that they can better themselves and their families in the moment. Now, a lot of those people are working poor, and part of our effort around them is transitioning them from a place of poverty to a place of self-sufficiency and eventually success and prosperity. So COVID impacted the community of vulnerable people that SUM serves in pretty extraordinary ways. So we've transitioned our operations to make sure that we're doing what we do in a safe way. We're still providing our medical clinic and our healthcare services to the folks who need them. We're just doing it in a safe way. So right now, people can help us most by donating and contributing to SUM. But during more normal times, we use volunteers as well. We don't ask questions, we serve people in need. So if you're over 18 and you're bringing children, we serve you. We don't ask questions about your need. We don't try to verify it. If you're in need and say you are, we help you.
Welcome to Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today we're going to give you some. Yeah, S-O-M-E, so others might eat. I want to introduce you to Ralph Boyd. He is new with So Others Might Eat, and so now it's your turn.
Alvin, thank you for inviting me to be here this morning. It is I think, an opportune moment for me and for some to join you and presumably to talk about our work during the time of twin crisis, the pandemic that is COVID-19, but also the issues that we're wrestling with as a nation and as a community with respect to social and racial justice and equity. And I think those two crises, if you will, coming together at this time makes my time with you all the more important and significant. And I'm fairly Churchillian in that I think never waste a good crisis to make great steps forward. So that's kind of the perspective that I bring, and the perspective that I think SUM as an organization more broadly holds.
What inspired you to be a part of SUM?
I was already familiar with them, so when they reached out to me when they were looking for a new CEO, and I was thinking to myself, God bless that person that's going to replace Father John, who's built this really substantial and significant organization over the course of 4 decades. Good luck to that person.
Let's talk about what So Others Might Eat does.
We are as an interfaith, community-based human services organizations that run several lines of service. Each one of those lines of service could be a business in and of itself. SUM provides emergency services for the poor and the homeless and folks who are at risk of becoming homeless. We provide medical, dental, and mental health treatment and care. We provide addiction counseling services. We provide certified job training programs, educational enrichment programs, and we also have a significant affordable housing portfolio. So in our entire affordable housing portfolio, we have about 1,300 units. That comes with what we call a continuum of care, that is comprehensive, wraparound human services that any person or family in need would require to move from a position of need and insufficiency to a position of stable sufficiency, and then to be on the pathway to success and prosperity. If you knock on our door, there's almost no wrong door, because almost everything a vulnerable person would need, we do it in one of our service lines. And if we don't do it, we have the partners out there in the community that we can connect people to who do it. So you knock on our door, you're going to get help no matter what your need is.
You got some for this, you got some for that, you got some for that. You got some for everything.
You said that more succinctly than I said. You summarized it in a word. We have something for everything, and if we don't have it in-house, we can connect people to it. I think that's the message that I would leave people with, whether it's food, clothing, medical, dental, behavioral health, addiction treatment, housing, whatever the service, there's no wrong door at some.
Well, I'm going to put it this way. If you want some and you need some, or if you got some and you can give some, we got some. We're on board with
Alvin
some,
Jones.
so others may eat. Thank you for coming on. Welcome. You're stepping in some great shoes, but you are, in the words of Earth, Wind, and Fire, you're living in your own time.
Thank you so much, Alvin.
My pleasure. This has been another impactful Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones. Thank you for watching.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The mission of ServiceSource is to support individuals who have disabilities in really all walks of their lives. We provide a variety of employment supports. One area is our job placement supports, where we help individuals get jobs with third-party community employers. We want to be there to really help mentor and help the individual navigate so that they can thrive in their work.
It feels good to be employed, just being able to come into work, and it gives me a sense of independence and autonomy. ServiceSource has helped me a lot with learning job skills and being able to have the asset of a job coach going into a job, so I'm not just going into a job without any support.
ServiceSource has changed my life. It's just given me fulfillment, enjoyment. It's an excellent opportunity for people with disabilities because there's not that many programs out there. So when you find one, you want to support it, and you will want your child or whoever you support to come out here. It's a great opportunity. I'm glad that I found it.
We encourage folks to get to know the people that we are here to support, because in many avenues, whether it's in work, whether it's in recreation, our folks can contribute a lot into the community, and we really want to build those partnerships and encourage that because it becomes a win-win for all of us.
Welcome to Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today we are still social distancing, but we're going to get real close on issues that are important. One of the issues that's really important for a lot of people, especially in urban areas, is what's called food apartheid. And that has to be dismantled. And the lady that I am right here with, we're social distancing, but we've been close already. Sam Welser with the Common Good City Farm, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, who came up with the term food apartheid?
So Karen Washington, who used to run an urban farm in Brooklyn, New York, coined the term food apartheid because she felt that food justice or food security didn't really reflect the accuracy of how we came to the situation that we're in now, which is that the food security problems that we have were absolutely intentionally created to marginalize people of color in our cities and urban and rural communities. And so food apartheid really tries to get at that and at the need for us to do more than just provide access to food for people, but really that we need to dismantle the systems that got us to the place where we are now.
Yeah, food is fuel. And most people would not put terrible fuel in their car, but they would put terrible fuel in their bodies.
Our food cultures now reflect the histories of oppression that people have gone through. Particularly, you see this in communities of color where folks like historically were given the worst things to work with.
You mean like chitlins?
Right, but still managed
Pig feet? Yeah,
right, to create amazing, delicious, rich culinary histories.
Which are now called delicacies for some reason, yeah.
Well, it's amazing food, and I think that speaks to the resilience of people who have been marginalized. And what we want to make sure now is that families in cities and families who come from marginalized communities can get the food that they want and need to make sure that they can both feed themselves and their families, but also so they can make healthy choices if that's what they want to do.
What's the look on the face, be it a youth or someone who's of age, when they share some food that they've grown with a friend or a neighbor?
Yeah, I think one of the best things that we usually get to do on the farm is have community meals together. And so we get to share the food that we've grown with all of our neighbors and friends. But I think you're really getting at it, which is that someone who has grown their own food, just that spark of delight and joy and satisfaction at having produced something themselves is really amazing. And what I hear from a lot of folks who are interested in getting into gardening is that they want to be able to provide fresh and healthy food for their families. And that the first year, maybe it doesn't go so well, but they get like those 2 zucchinis or that one little tiny watermelon. And that is enough. That is enough to get somebody started so that they are ready. Next time they're going to do better. And they are ready to just give it everything that they've got and see what they can get.
There are probably people watching right now, like that person right there, who wants to know more about the Common Good City Farm. How would they find out more about you and your organization?
So we have a really beautiful website that shows you all sorts of lovely pictures of the work that we do. We're at commongoodcityfarm.org.
So there you have it. It's the Common Good City Farm. And the name says it all. For the common good, we have a farm in the city because we're attacking food apartheid. Sam Wilson, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Alvin.
We're bringing you information that's good for you. It's called Impact Moment, right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones. Thank you.
My client was waiting for me to post the final draft for this project online. Then the phone buzzed. The person told me I had 45 minutes to pay up or my electricity would be cut off. No electricity, no internet. They told me to get one of those prepaid credit cards, so I did it.
If you receive a call threatening to disconnect a utility service, stop. Hang up and call the provider back using the number on your bill to verify, and contact the Public Service Commission or the police to report scammers. Fight utility scams. The power is yours.
Amazon Conservation has been around for 20 years. We started in the middle of the Amazon jungle 20 years ago. 2 conservationists and scientists were trying to figure out what's the best way forward in terms of making conservation happen in the Amazon. We're at the point on the planet now where that biodiversity is the key to really saving us as a species. If we don't have the forests, if we don't have the water, if we don't have the oceans that can maintain these species and the vast amount of biodiversity we have on the planet, it won't maintain us. And the loss of species is just an indicator of how the situation on the planet is becoming more difficult for us. We might not feel it now, but it's going to get to a point where we're going to see the impact on us as a species. You can check us out on our website, amazonconservation.org, and learn more about the work that we do.
Hi, I'm Julia Reardon, Grants Manager and Associate Producer at DCTV. Thank you for joining us on this special day of programming as we pay tribute to the amazing and critical work that nonprofit organizations are doing to make an impact in our community each and every day. The DCTV grant program was established in 2019 to help nonprofit organizations to learn marketing communications best practices and to provide digital media assets to help them in telling their story. Each grant cycle is 1 year-long program. We launched our first cycle in August of 2019, and amid the global pandemic, we welcomed a second cycle of grantees that we are thrilled to formally announce here. These are the recipients of the second cohort group of grantees who joined us earlier this year. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, we're pushing forward and helping grantees now more than ever to find innovative ways to make impact during these times. So, congratulations to our second cohort grant award recipients. We invite all nonprofit organizations who serve the Washington, D.C. community to apply for the DCTV Nonprofit Capacity Building Grant. We award grants twice a year, in January and in July. If your organization is interested in applying for a DCTV Nonprofit Capacity Building Grant, please visit us online at dctv.org/grants to find out more about the program and how to apply. You can always sign up to attend one of our info sessions to get an in-depth overview of all this grant has to offer. Let us help your organization to tell quality stories about the important work that you do to make a positive impact in our community. We look forward to working with you.